Hey everybody, welcome back. Episode 7 of the Arizona Birdwatchers. With me as always,
my name is Dave here with you, and I've got my buddy
T. Rowe, aka Troy Rowe, aka that awkward fat guy.
I guess two awkward fat
Two
guys
awkward
here with
fat
you.
guys, yes.
Yes, just reporting about some Cardinals football.
Yeah, man, another game, I should say. It was hard. It was painful. It did hurt my entrails a little bit.
It did. It showed some kind of vulnerabilities we had with our run defense, but we'll get into all that later. Quick, we got to get into some fun facts.
Yes. This week's fun facts. David and I both played high school football, so we thought we'd talk about that a little bit. Me personally, I was not what you would call a star. I was the guy who, got to go in when it was like 35-7 in the fourth quarter with a minute left. I was on the Neil team.
Yeah. The Neil team. I like that. What position did you play?
Let's see. My freshman year when I was really skinny, I played safety.
Okay.
And I think maybe I was a tight end on offense. I don't really remember offense that much. My sophomore year, I played, as I got bigger, I played linebacker, and then I played tight ends. And my junior year, same thing, linebacker, tight end.
I remember tight end. I remember you as a tight end.
Yeah. So I think my favorite memory was so my sophomore year was like my most successful year of football. I actually started every game at tight end.
Oh wow!
I mean, I never got to like run the ball, or I never ran the pass plays or the run plays where they went to the tight end because we had like a guy who was like a stud.
Good block.
Yeah, he was a junior, and he like played like anytime the ball was going to my position, he came in and played. Okay. And but I remember the quarterback was my good friend, so I like would warm up with him all the time, and I got really good at like with my hands. I could catch really well, and so I remember one game. I think I was actually out on defense, and a guy breaks one loose, and he's running. Runs like 50 yards or something like that, and then so I was like chasing him. You're supposed to chase them even though they're going to score. Yeah. But another kid who's like way faster than me, he ran up, and he kind of honey badgered him a little bit where he tackled him, and the ball flew up in the air, and I caught it, and I got so excited. I like made a play, and I ran like 50 yards, but sideline to sideline.
Oh my god!
1 yard positive.
You went horizontal, not vertical.
Yeah. 1 yard positive, 50 yards left and right. So that was my biggest thing. I got my name in the paper. You know what I mean? So that was like my big high school memory
that
highlight.
Was your big break.
Yeah. I don't know. I just let my career slip after that.
Wow, your 15 seconds of fame has been spent on that.
In the Casa Grande Dispatch.
Wow, good for you.
You got one?
I got a good high school memory. I mean, I played freshman football, didn't play all 4 years, but really enjoyed my freshman football career.
Yeah, man.
When I was a freshman, we were out in Yuma's division.
Yes.
So you'd always go to and from Yuma, and we were in one of those little short buses, and Coach Losick happened to be driving my short bus.
He's the one that he looks like Lurch, like
yes.
Dr. Frankenstein's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like has more teeth missing than he has in. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah.
And cool dude. But anyway, we came off on a win, and it was one of those. Bird Barnett? Do you remember him?
Yeah.
He would call defensive plays by alcoholic drinks, and we were freshmen, so it was like gin and juice, and he would like grab. It was one of those nights where he grabbed the ball literally from the center as he was hiking it, just grabbed it up over everyone, and continue through for a touchdown.
Yes.
And as people were hanging off him, he was like 6'6", 6'7", and everybody else was like under 5'8".
Still living on their first batch of pubes.
Exactly. Gluing them on still.
Yeah.
Exactly. But anyway, that night when we were driving back, we had to fill up on gas, and Losick wanted to stay at the steakhouse that was across the street, and we were all excited. I mean, we knew we weren't going to pay.
Yeah,
so
you got that school credit card.
Up to Losick getting that steak, and it was in the same parking lot as this gas station we were filling up at. Well, Losick we were in that little short bus, and as he was pulling away, he sideswipes a car, and absolutely sideswipes a car, and this person's like, I see you, like I'm getting your license plate, and Losick just drives away.
What?
And hit and run. We get no steak.
In a high school bus.
Casa Grande Union High. Yeah. Coach Losick doesn't work there anymore. But,
oh my gosh. I think that story defines the high school we went to.
Yeah. Go Cougars.
Go Cougars.
That's what Cougar Pride is right there.
Yes, Cougar Pride.
Oh, it was beautiful, but we did not get steak that night, so that was kind of the bummer.
So even though you won, you lost.
Even though we won, and then we won some more with that side swipe.
Yeah.
We still kind of lost.
Win, lose.
Yep.
Really quick, I just want to give a quick shout out, man, to the Arizona Cardinals, like their media team. I look at a lot of websites, like all the other teams' websites across the NFL. We have one of like the best looking NFL websites I've seen for like a team page. Like you would be surprised considering, the most profitable organization in the world, and teams' websites look like they were made in like '92. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, they all look miserable, but the Cardinals ones looks really good, and I think like especially in the last 2 years, they've really done really well, like putting on this really professional media group. They give really cool interviews, really in-depth stuff. They let you really get to know the players, and I think they're doing something special over there, man, making it really high-tech, modern, contemporary style media.
That's fantastic, and that says something to our organization, who has kind of been building for the last 15 years, and now to be at such a high point for us, and then capitalizing on that, with a good media team.
It's great. Yeah, no, I love it, man, and I just think it makes us look better. We may not be a Patriots or a Packers yet, but we are making a product that people want to be a part of, and it's cool to be a Cardinal. It's cool to be a Cardinals fan and stuff like that.
Right, and now it looks cool to be a Cardinals fan,
especially
on online and social media and all that kind of fun stuff.
Oh yeah, speaking of social media, dude, if you guys are listening out there, if you're tuned into the podcast, and you ever want to shout us out or let us know something, go ahead and hashtag Arizona Birdwatchers. In a status or something, if you're listening, just let us know you're listening, and we'll keep track of everything we post and stuff like that. We'll hashtag with Arizona Birdwatchers just to kind of get the word spread around, I guess.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, always feel free to comment. We are happy to answer questions.
Yes.
That you have about the Cardinals team or anything you want us to touch on.
Yes.
Especially coming into the podcast. We do this a couple days after the game, so definitely come through with us.
Yeah.
Come comment on.
We'll give you a shout out, man. We'll shout out anybody for anything.
Absolutely.
Send us a dick pic. We'll shout it out.
Yeah, we're cheap. We're cheap people to please. So do whatever. Troy will accept your dick pics. I won't.
Just forward them right to me.
Yeah. I'll forward all my dick pics to you from now on.
Even your personal stash if you want.
That's fine. I have a stash on my dick, so
I'll
send
perfect,
you that pic.
Perfect. Just give me the folder.
Beautiful. Well, let's get into this game, because this game was kind of a dick pic.
Yes, it was just a big, blatant, out of the blue dick pic.
It was.
Some cool.
There was some cool things. There are cool things about this dick pic.
Yes. Carson, he threw his 14th touchdown pass this game, which is the most in team history through the first 6 games. So of all the great quarterbacks we've had come through here, all 3 of the great quarterbacks we've ever had play.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, Carson, Jake the Snake. We've had legends. Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. Jake the Snake's a legend in his own regard.
Yes.
Arizona hero.
Absolutely. So, I mean, all these legends coming through here, and Carson's getting it done.
Yeah.
6 games, 14 touchdowns. That's amazing.
Carson, this game, he was 29 for 45 for 421 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception.
I know a lot of people were kind of giving him flack about this game.
Yeah.
But We're not here to do that.
No,
he's our field general.
Yeah,
and he was the reason we stayed in this game.
Yes.
And he made some big throws, including that that potential wide open touchdown to Jerron Brown.
Yeah,
but he was the reason we stayed into this game.
Yes,
and he had great connections to John Brown throughout this full game. And we'll get into that later.
Yes, I'm with you, Fitz. Like, everybody can say what they want. They can give Carson a lot of flack, but the reason he is one of the biggest, if not the biggest reason that we are where we are. Even if we lost that game, Carson puts that on his shoulders like a champ, I think, and he went out there and he gave us the best chance to win. Now, he keeps us in the game, he keeps us alive, and did have that second interception, that one that hurt us really bad, the one that was the game changer pretty much, the nail in the coffin, but he had to throw that ball up, Yes, he threw it into double coverage, but at that point in the game, man, you gotta give it something. You gotta give it a shot, and that's what he's doing.
That is honestly abiding by the Cardinals' philosophy.
Yes,
we are not a check receiver team.
We are successful because of the way we play. And
exactly.
And so sling that ball all day, Carson. I mean, he threw 45 times, dude. Carson is in the upper epsilon of older quarterbacks in the league.
Absolutely, and that play worked for us all day.
We get that. Exactly. We get that play more times. We get that play more times than we miss it. So, exactly. Carson, another good game. 421 yards, man. That's an astronomical amount of yards. That's really big.
Right, and he's throwing to guys. I mean, 10 catches for John Brown, 196 yards. Fitz, 8 catches, 93 yards. Floyd, he comes back into this game. 5 catches for 50 yards and that touchdown.
Yep.
Carson spreading the ball, and he's throwing for a lot of yards.
Yeah. I really liked seeing Floyd get back in there, get him returning to the lineup. He missed some catches, but that's because we have to look at Floyd as his whole season started game 1. You can't count training camp for Floyd because he was gone. He was injured. So I don't think he's there. I know it's Game 7, and he's played in Game 7. He's played so limited. This was like a first game that he was really, really hit a bunch, targeted a bunch, and I think he's just still developing.
Yeah, he's blooming.
Yeah. Week 9, 10 comes around, and maybe even maybe even next week, week 7, we're gonna see him start coming down with some of the drops he had this week. Because that's what he does, dude. He catches in traffic. Prime Floyd makes these amazing. He reminds me of Des Bryant a lot, where he can go up against 3 guys and come down with the ball.
Yes, that's what I love to hear.
Yes. And then of course John Smokey Brown, he was on fire, came up huge in a bunch of plays, and then our man Larry Fitz.
Yeah, he was solid again. I mean, and he had a lot of yards after the catch. I mean, he was trying to hurdle guys left and right. He almost took that 44-yard bomb with 11:21 left in the second quarter to the house.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great day for the wide receiving core, although we just didn't kind of convert in the end zone.
Yeah, couldn't get those red zone ones are the ones that killed us. And our run game, we couldn't really get our run game going very well. Chris Johnson, 14 carries for 40 yards. He had 1 reception for 5 yards. David Johnson had 3 carries for 9 yards and 1 reception for 8 yards. And then Ellingson, 1 carry for 7 yards and 2 receptions for 47 yards.
Yeah, this was a very good Steelers defense.
Yeah, it just seemed like there just wasn't any room to run. You know what I mean? Like CJ had some good runs, but we couldn't see a lot of those breakaway runs like we're used to seeing. You know what I mean? Like none of that 20-yard, 25-yard runs, those chunk runs that we've been seeing, and we just couldn't see. It just seems like we could move them around like we wanted to.
Yeah, there weren't any holes. I mean, that Steelers D, they closed it down pretty well. I mean, 14 carries, 40 yards.
Yeah,
he was averaging just minuscule yards a carry. It was blocked. It was crammed in there.
Yeah, and I've heard some people say some of the play calling was a little bit questionable. Personally, I don't believe in saying what we should have shown. I'm not one of those people that says, if we had just ran this play or ran that pass play, I'm not into saying that we've done that stuff.
I mean, Pete Carroll should have gave it to Lynch. We can agree on that one.
Yeah, well, actually, I'll disagree just because I'm glad the Seahawks lost.
Yeah, true.
Oh, man. Nonetheless, though, this game was dominated by the pass. And, I just think we drove the ball all around the field. And, I don't want to put it all on them, but I think a lot of our problems started with the O-line.
Yeah, O-line was sloppy, man. They had 4 penalties, gave up 36 yards, and I mean, they came at the most frustrating times, man. There was that unnecessary roughness, and then there was that one that the holding penalty that Coop had that offset that huge game by John Brown.
Yeah. Because he had the holding, and then the pass interference came down at the other side of the field, so both of them offset. Which, it's frustrating when especially in a game like that where we're needing big plays to turn things around, and it didn't seem like the Cardinals. We're not really a mistake football team, and we seem to something about being in the game. I don't know if I hate to say that the media affects the players, but I think something about everyone building it up about Arians' return, Woodley's return, all these guys returned to Pittsburgh.
Right, different climate. I know they were out in West Virginia, but it got cold real quick
it was sleeting the whole game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was sleeting off and on. I mean, I don't think they were ready for it. And when it was time to buckle down, 1-4 in the red zone, 5 for 12 in third down efficiency. It just didn't really happen for us.
Yeah, you don't win with those kind of stats.
Right.
And so defense, they had themselves a day too. They had themselves kind of a rough day. 169 passing yards, 141 rushing yards, and a sack. So that rushing yards there is really the one that's been getting to me. That's kind of been a hidden issue for us. As we talk a lot about our defense and how good our rushing attack is, but lately we just haven't been stopping the run. I would say we look surprised defensively.
Look, and I think that also goes to a lack of preparation for Landry Jones. I mean, he came out of nowhere, first NFL game ever. We were looking at Vic, and Vic, we solved Vic's puzzle, man.
Yeah, we were holding Vic in the first half pretty well.
He was nothing. Mm-hmm. I mean, virtually nothing. And then Landry Jones comes out and just out of nowhere, I mean, lights us up, man. I mean, shots to Martavius Bryant, shots down the field.
Yeah, that one was probably the most painful one right there. Because Tyrann Mathieu, he got a bunch of criticism about that Martavius Bryant touchdown. People basically wanted his head, dude. Saying that he missed that last tackle, but I don't subscribe to that. He goes out there, he busts his ass week in and week out, and he's making huge plays across the field. And I mean, maybe he did miss that one, but I mean, I can't hold it against that guy. Him and Dan Buchanan both led the team in tackles this game. They both had 7 apiece. And, Deion Buchanan's leading the team in tackles at 42 this season, and guess who's right behind him?
And that's our linebacker. I mean, our linebacker should be leading our team in tackles. And then we got our safety back. Yeah.
He's a safety linebacker. Yeah.
It's awesome.
And then Tyrann is right behind him with 36 tackles this season. So they're doing really well, So Honey Badger, he's got the juice, man, and I guarantee you that's one of those mistakes he makes one time.
Yep, it was just too many missed opportunities by the team as a whole.
And, really quick, I just want to say Patrick Peterson, another stellar game for that guy. He held Antonio Brown in check all game. Dude only got 3 receptions, 24 yards.
Very true.
Patrick Peterson has been electric this year.
Very true. But although he has been great, because the defense gave up so much, he does not get our up down he does not get our game ball.
No.
But he missed our up downs too.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our game ball and up downs. Who deserves up downs in this loss?
I'm going to give it to the defensive pass rush. And hopefully by mentioning the pass rush right now, Cardinals remember that they exist.
Exactly. We need them.
Yeah, there just wasn't any pressure on the hits. Any pressure or hits coming from anywhere. And it's amazing that Patrick Peterson did have such a good game, considering how much pressure was put on the secondary due to the lack of pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, true.
And if things go like this, I think we can't get Freeney in there fast enough, and we can't hope for a quicker return for Okafor.
Jones had way too much time.
Yeah.
And when we click, the quarterback is getting rushed every play, it seems like.
We're not putting up big sacks, but the pressure's there.
Yeah, like against the Rams, against Nick Foles. I mean, that guy had a lot of time to play. Mm-hmm. So he kind of let us up. And the same thing happened here with the debut of Landry Jones.
Yep.
So we gotta solve this pass rush problem. They need some up downs this week,
big
definitely.
Time. Our dishonorable mention for up downs is going to go to that Jerron Brown, Carson Palmer connection. They missed early and often. Missed out on a big touchdown where Jaron was pretty much wide open in the end zone. They missed on a few other plays where it was just going nowhere near Jerron Brown. And, once again, I don't think that's on Carson. I think there's just something off with the timing right there.
Right. If it's a misread play or a misran route or a combination of both or underthrown pass combination, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it'll get solved this week against the Ravens, and we'll go into that in a sec. But
yes.
I don't think we need to be too worried.
No, not at all.
But we did have some positives in this game, too.
A big one.
Yeah, a big one by the name of John Brown.
John Smokey Brown, dude. 10 receptions, 196 yards.
More than deserving of the game ball this week. He came up with big plays when we needed him. I think this was one of the best display of hands we have seen in game action in his career personally. Yeah,
I mean, if you look back at that Phillies game where he had the game winner, he came up with a crazy catch for the win. But at the same time, like he was out there making plays with his hands that I didn't know he had the skill to do, honestly, man. I mean, he makes a lot of catches, but I haven't seen him make any crazy catches like that. Those 196 yards, that's his career high. So this is the one shining thing to take away from this evil, dark despair of a game.
Exactly. We'll be honest. This was a rough game, although he was shiny.
Yes.
And Bruce agrees with us, and Bruce is just as honest, man. Yeah. So let's get into Arianisms this week.
Yeah. Basically, Bruce was asked after the game, like, how can the Cardinals stop shooting themselves in the foot? BA replied, stop doing it. Drag your foot this much closer and make a touchdown. Don't give up an 80-yard touchdown.
just blunt and as honest as can be, man.
Yeah, I mean, he does it. That's one thing I love about the Bruce when it comes to him and the media. He is just some coaches after a loss, they'll be like, we just weren't ready. We just weren't ready. We just got to hit the practice a little bit harder this week, And Bruce doesn't play that, dude. He's like, why did you lose? Well, we lost because we sucked.
Yeah, he's almost like the Greg Popovich of football.
Yeah,
I
completely agree. Yeah, great. Yeah, straight to the point. No games about him, and he's gonna go in there and he's gonna,
no BS with BA.
No BS with BA. That is my next T-shirt.
Yes, absolutely.
I'd like to get in right now. A lot of Cardinals have a lot of stuff to say all over the place, and this is our new segment we call Bird Chirps, which is where we take a look at some of the Cardinals, some of the funny stuff they're doing out there on social media, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you could find them at. And I think our big story this week, everybody was talking about it all week, was that there was a ghost in West Virginia at the Greenbrier.
At the training camp this week.
Yes.
The Greenbrier ghost even made a Twitter account.
Yeah, so Tony Jefferson is the one who had the interactions with the ghost, and he named her Carol. So then Tony Jefferson, I'm assuming he made the account. It sounds like something he would do. And he basically said, everyone, Carol made a Twitter. She told me she was going to do it yesterday, but I didn't believe her. And you could follow Carol on Twitter at Greenbrier Ghost.
Yes, and she's still tweeting.
Yeah, she's still tweeting live. Yeah, we'll get some tweets for you from her from next week.
Yeah, she's still tweeting. And Tyrann Mathieu, kind of got into it with fans post-game.
Yes. So someone tweeted at him, Martavis Bryant really showed you what's up, man. There's 3 S's in that what's up.
A lot of S's.
And he replied, I'm still savage, which typical Tyrann. So that was not too bad. But the feisty one he had was when a fan tweeted, and she didn't even specifically tag Tyrann in it, She said, she said his name, but she didn't tag him or at him in the tweet. Right. Tyrann Mathieu should have made that tackle. Completely disappointed with the way the Cardinals played today. No excuse. And the Honey Badger replied, girl, you better sit your ass down.
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that's still on the Twitter page.
Honey Badger don't give a fuck.
No, he does not.
No, those were deleted pretty quickly.
Oh my god, I bet.
We'll have pictures of those tweets for you guys. I snagged a couple pictures before they got deleted.
Oh my god, good for the Honey Badger, man. Just giving it to some.
Just let her have it.
Yeah, just let her have it, man.
Then John Smokey Brown, he had a good one. After his monster game, he said, great, I made everyone's fantasy days and all that, but the only thing that matters is we get the wins. Stats don't mean anything but a W.
God, man, you gotta love that.
I love that. He's very accurate, man, and I mean, that nothing else could be more true. Good for you guys who got John Brown, but I'm glad to hear him say like that. team answer right there.
Right. And then also on the social media streams, the Swagmaster got to hang out with some pretty swagtastic people out at Greenbrier, hanging out with Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Lee Trevino, and even Arnold Palmer in the mix there.
Yeah, the drink himself, man.
Yeah, the drink himself, man.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I feel like people of that level of swagginess have like magnets towards each other or something like that, you know?
Right, they all kind of hang out in a secret club or something.
Yeah, well, a secret club that our next player certainly is not going to be invited to quite yet.
Not yet.
This is our segment we call Under the Nest, which is where we do a little profile on a Cardinals player that may or may not be a household name to you, unless maybe you followed him in college or something like that. And this week we want to talk about Josh Morrow. He's a defensive tackle. He's number 97. This is his second year on the Cardinals, and he is from Stanford.
And he was undrafted 2 years ago, originally signed by the team we played this past week, the Steelers. And then and they released him, and we picked him up.
Yeah, he's so far this season he started 2 games. He's got 4 tackles, a sack, and a fumble recovery. His biggest game of the season was against the Bears, which is where he got all 4 of his tackles that he has. And he got that fumble recovery against the Lions.
And look, this week,
yeah,
you might have seen him this week.
Yeah, this is what you might have heard of him.
Yeah, not in the best way. Getting that bad offsides call negated that Patrick Peterson interception. But we think he's going to redeem himself.
Yeah, I think he's going to do good. He's going to keep going out there. I think he's going to keep working. You know, everybody talks a lot about Rodney Gunter, who, you know, he's the future of the defensive tackle spot. You know, that guy's an absolute superhuman. But it's good to have a solid depth player. You know, that's what really builds teams, is having those solid in the trenches guys that can come in, you know, after the offense just makes a 10-play drive and give some gas, you know, help the guys that are gas, fresh legs, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to have that blue-collar attitude, man.
Yes. That's what I love. So, Josh Morrow, hope to see more from this guy coming up in the season.
Yes, let's see him on Monday night, not Sunday night.
Monday Night Football.
Monday night against the Ravens. Ravens are 1-5, man.
Yeah.
11th in passing yards. They average about 258 a game. 15th in rushing yards. Which doesn't seem crazy.
No, not too bad.
But they're not doing well. They're not converting.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And you compare that to the Cardinals, who are 4-2. We're 7th in passing yards with about 284 yards a game, and we're 11th in rushing. So, you know, we're not crazy far off from them. And the man leading the Ravens' aerial attack is Joe Flacco. 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and 3 fumbles this season. Ooh. Yeah, so
turning the ball over more than he's scoring, man.
Yeah.
That's not good.
You know, and something about Flacco is he's always been known for his big arm. You know what I mean? He's always had the ability to go out there and throw any pass you need him to throw. But the guy, he makes a lot of mistakes. You know, he had that one year where they won the Super Bowl, but he's never seemed to break past that. You know what I mean? Like, people attribute that Super Bowl win a lot to the Ravens defense. He's a guy that'll take you the distance and he'll keep his team competitive. There's just something about him, you can't get him over the hump.
Right.
Yeah.
And does he have a big wide receiving core?
No, he doesn't have a lot of depth. His biggest weapon is the old man Steve Smith. 2 games that he was injured, it became that's when we really saw how much depth they don't have in their wide receiver core. You know, and Steve Smith is a stud, dude. He's out there, he'll catch whatever you throw his way, and you know, we'll be playing against Steve Smith, so it'll be nice to see Patrick Peterson go up against Steve Smith.
Oh yeah, and the running back core. I mean, they don't have depth, but they've got Justin Forsett.
Yeah, he is ranked 4th in yards amongst all running backs this season so far. He's got 457 and a touchdown. And, you know, this guy, he is the Ravens' backfield, you know what I mean? He can make people miss, and he's really good at finding the hole and then hitting the burners, you know what I mean? And it's a little scary considering what's been happening when we play guys with really good running backs, so it's another chance for a solid runner to come and shred us apart.
Yep, so we have to prove ourselves.
Yes.
We definitely have to prove ourselves, but we've got the 13th ranked defense in the NFL with 104 rush yards a game on average, and then giving up 224 passing yards a game. So although we have seen where our defense or a good running back can shred our defense, we have good stats.
Yeah, we've also shut down good running backs before. Well. You know what I mean? I think our interior, which was thought to be a strength coming into the season, where they're just figuring it out a little bit, and and a lot of it is because we play with so many safeties and cornerbacks on the field at one time that as much as they're putting a lot of pressure on, the interior 7 also have a lot of pressure to really got to wrap guys up and get them stopped right there.
So do you think Dwight Freeney will get a little more playing time this Monday night?
I think so. I think Dwight Freeney, he's a true veteran. He's a smart guy. He'll be able to, the more he learns, the faster he'll get in there. You know what I mean? Like, he'd been on the team 3 days when he suited up for Pittsburgh.
Wow. Only 3 days?
Yeah. So, getting him in there, getting him playing, I think it'll be really huge for the Cardinals.
Yep.
So, as far as the Ravens' defense, they are ranked 26th in the NFL. They allow 286 pass yards a game and 94 rush yards a game. Their best defensive player is their linebacker, Darryl Smith. He's got 55 tackles this season and 2 sacks. He's the fifth in the NFL for sacks this year. And he's a strong player. He can stuff the run really well, and he can also drop back in coverage and make some plays. I just think overall this looks like a good game for the Cardinals to bounce back on. I found out this week that when we lose, we're 7-3 in the following games while Bruce Arians has been the coach.
Wow, so we've only lost back-to-back games 3 times ever under Arians.
Yes. And
that's a pretty impressive stat.
And I think coming back home to the toaster, getting everything going, coming off that heartbreaking loss, I think the Ravens are going to be in for it. I predict a pretty big, high-scoring game where the Cardinals get back on track this week.
Yeah, so it's Monday night at the Toaster, 5:30 on ESPN. And Troy, what's your prediction here? High-scoring game?
Yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah, I think we're going to bust another 40, man. Honestly, I'm going to say 45-24.
45-24. I don't think the Ravens do much this game.
Yeah,
I think our run defense really finally gets it together. I think Freeney plays more. I think it's going to be 17 for the Ravens, and I think we put up 42.
Yes, good. I like that. Always really close to their predictions. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you can check that game out Monday night on ESPN starting at 5:30 p.m., and that game is home. It's a home game, so let's get out there, Big Red Sea, and let's get out there and make some noise and get some offsides. And
yes, and shout out to the Red Sea Online.
Yes.
The Cards Corner and the Arizona Bird Gang crew.
Yeah, thank you guys for sharing our podcast, helping us spread the word around.
Yes, and make sure you're watching Monday Night Football this upcoming Monday at 5:30, and go Cardinals.
Go Cardinals.